Good morning, everybody. My name is Martin Connor. I'm a manufacturing specialist here at CIM Software. We're going to look at the Cim50 quotations module today. We're going to focus on that specifically. This is one in a series of webinars that we've run recently and will continue to run, and all are available on our YouTube channel at CIM Software. If you search for CIM Software on our YouTube channel, you will be able to pick up a series of various webinars across our product portfolio. So what we're going to do is, say, we're going to focus on the quotation module to help you accurately and efficiently quote within your business with the help of the Cim50 manufacturing solution. If you need further details, feel free to reach out to ourselves or your business partner. And you'll also find guides and various readings at cim50.co.uk. So I've got a little bit of an agenda for us today. If you're new to CIM Software, just a very quick introduction, and then we'll drop into introduce you to Cim50. Again, if you're new to Cim50, just to talk about how Cim50 is structured and how the quotations module fits into that, and a little bit of an overview before we drop into a demo, and then talk about next steps, and if there's any questions we can pick them up at the end. So who is CIM Software then? We are an award-winning manufacturing software developer for Sage. We have developed our Cim50 and our Cim200 manufacturing solutions, which integrate with Sage 50 accounts and Sage 200 Professional, respectively. And we've been around since the mid-90s as a manufacturing specialist, primarily with Sage solutions, with Sage's own products through Sage 50, Sage 50 manufacturing, Sage 200, Sage 200 manufacturing, and the likes. And our solutions that we've developed are there to replace Sage's legacy products in those areas. Got lots of experience, combined experience of over 150 years across the team here, with using, implementing, supporting manufacturing software in various different manufacturing industries, and implemented a number of sites. So we are a Sage Techno Plus, which means that we are the highest level of Sage developer, and our Cim50 and our Cim200 software solutions appear on the Sage price list. So if you were to call up Sage and say, I need a manufacturing solution, you'll be pointed in our direction or one of our partners. We talked about being an award-winning manufacturing developer. We did win an innovation award at the back end of 2021 for our carbon footprint calculator, which is embedded into our bills, materials and works order processing modules, which you can catch up with in one of our other webinars that we will look to run. So Cim50 then, what we looking to achieve here. So we are looking to improve on what Sage 50 accounts provides, okay, to streamline processes across the manufacturing side of the business, through the back office accounts, through the order processing, into the manufacturing, through stock control, okay, and then back into the accounting solution so that hopefully our customer pays us for what we have manufactured. And whether that be repeat items or one-off items, and the quotation modules certainly help you with those one-off items. We need to maximize profitability, so it's really useful if we know what things cost. So our Cim50 solution, specifically the quotations, which we're focusing on today, allows you to cost out products that you are quoting your customers or your prospects and look to maximize the profitability. And because the solution is integrated, it allows for greater accuracy. We're only entering that data once. It's a single source of truth. Okay, and because we're only entering that data once, there's less chance of input errors along the way. Okay, and everybody, wherever they're interacting with the system, are using the same data. Okay, so our quotations module, Okay, uses the same stock control data as the rest of the system, the same bills and materials data, resource data, okay, same costings, okay, right the way across the solution, which is used within the bills and materials, the works orders, the planning and the MRP, right the way through the solution. So promotes greater accuracy. So Cim50 itself then, it is fully integrated with Sage 50 Accounts Professional. It is the only accredited Sage accredited solution for Sage 50 accounts. Okay, and it is also the recommended replacement for Sage 50 Manufacturing. So if you're out there, you've still got Sage 50 Manufacturing, okay, which end of life back in 2021. Okay, we have a migration tool which can take your data from Sage 50 Manufacturing and pop that into Cim50. If you're not in that situation, we also have import routines. Okay. Cim50 is scalable. We've now got 7 modules. Okay, our graphical schedule was released last year, which is our newest module, and we have again got a webinar for that. So if that was of interest to you, okay, pop along to our YouTube channel and have a look at that. And with it being 7 modules, it allows you to sort of pick and choose the modules that you require. Okay, so if you are a one-off manufacturer, maybe the quotations module that we're going to focus on today would be of interest to you. Okay. Currently sitting at around 500 sites across the UK and Ireland, which equates to about 2,500 users using our Cim50 solution on a daily basis. So we talked about those 7 modules. Okay, so we've got the stock control, okay, to enhance the stock control within Sage 50 accounts with traceability, lead times, multiple suppliers, and it holds all of the additional fields which the rest of the modules require. Bills and materials, okay, multi-level, multi-components, holding labor times and costings, machine times and costings, subcontract, and all of that data is used for the module we're going to focus on today, which is the quotations. Works orders for managing production, work in progress, the allocation of stock, capacities, rough capacity planning. Okay, and these can be works orders, the instructions to the shop floor, can have paperwork, and these can be derived from a bill of material for repeat items or a quotation for those one-offs. Okay, one-off items, those unique items. We've then got the planning module and MRP, okay, to sort of reduce the stock holdings because you're building in efficiencies to help you to order and deliver on time. We then got the quotations module, which we are going to focus on today. So what that will allow you to do is to quote for items, whether that be an item that already exists, a new item from scratch, and build that up and then process that through the rest of the system. Okay. We've then got our shop floor data capture module, which I like to refer to as barcode anything, goods receipts, dispatches, stock takes and the likes, okay, issues to works orders. And then our graphical schedule, which is our newest module, as I said, for allowing you to visualize your production, okay, identify conflicts and overloads and drag and drop those around, those jobs around operation by operation to overcome those. Okay, all fully integrated with Sage 50 Accounts Professional. So to focus on the quotations module itself, we can, as I said, configure built items, whether that be for a customer or a prospect, whether that be for an existing item or work starting from scratch or copying an existing item. Okay, we've got revision history, so you can retain previous versions of quotations. So the customer comes back to you or the prospect comes back to you and say, yeah, I like that, but could you change it to X or Y? Okay, you can retain that previous version and you can go back to that version. If they said, actually, I don't like that no more, can we go back to what you originally quoted? Okay, so you retain that history and that visibility there. Products and services, so it's not just stock items, we can have non-stock items and service items, so we're not clogging up the database with lots of stock codes which don't ever get used or come to anything. Okay, we can set those up within the system. We can produce paperwork. Okay, they can be laid out to your needs. We can have put logos on there. They can have various sort of blocks of text, etc. Any of the data which is within the system, as long as there's a relationship, we can get that on to the documentation. Each quotation provides a profit and loss, its own profit and loss, so it allows you to interrogate those costings. Okay, you can get detailed costings against a quotation, okay, to see where you're making the margins that you require, and you can adjust those to suit quote to quote, item to item. And then ultimately, when the customer or the prospect comes back to you, okay, we can convert those quotations into sales orders, into works orders, okay, so it provides a fully integrated solution. Okay, so that's a little bit of an insight into the module itself. So what we'll do now is we'll drop into a demo of the Cim50 Quotations module, and I'll give you an insight. Okay, so here we are in the Cim50 solution. If you've seen any of the previous webinars, then you'll be familiar that we've got the modules down the left-hand side here, and this is our home page. And we're going to focus today on the quotations module. Okay, and within the quotations module, we've got the features which are available to me via access rights. Okay, so new, amend, copy. We can produce reports. We can mark it as lost. We can recost our quotations from up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on and create a new quotation. And that quotation can either be for a customer or a prospect. If it's from a customer, then it's picking up the customers from Sage. If it's a prospect, then we can just enter that data. Okay, the name, the address, company details, etc. And at a later stage, we can convert that prospect into a customer in Sage. So if I click customer, I can pick a customer from Sage. I also have the ability to select delivery addresses that are set up within Sage against that customer, create them or amend them. It's pulled in the tax rates, it's pulled in the currency. We can deal with the multiple currencies. So if it was a euro account in Sage, that's what would get pulled into here. So we can see contact details, we can see dates. So we're going to say this is due by the end of the month. Okay, I can set follow-up dates. Okay, I can set discounts if I wanted to. I can add notes to my quotation. I can also have additional text because we might want these pieces of text to appear on certain layouts, quotation layouts or reports. So we've given you the flexibility there. So once I've built the header of our quotation, okay, I can then move across to the products. And within the products, what I can start to do is I can start to add multiple items to our quotation. Okay, and these items can be either existing items which appear in our stock record. We could or we can create completely new ones from here, or we can create non-stock items. Okay, because we don't know whether this is going to come to anything, and we might want to come back and add it as a stock code at a later stage. Okay, so I'm going to start from scratch here. So I'm going to say this is a new item. The system has instantly recognized that it doesn't exist. So I'm going to say, no, I don't want to create that item. I'm going to say this is a new desk. Okay, I can enter the quantity. I'm just going to keep it at the 1. I can it's a non-stock item. It's not configured at this stage, so I've not built up the materials, the operations that are needed for this item at this stage. And then we've got the kg/CO2 equivalent coming through, which is forms part of our carbon footprint calculators. You can see how integrated that is. I can then move down to the bottom part of the screen where I can start to enter pricing and quantity breaks. Okay, so I could, if I wanted to, just come into here and say, right, this is going to be, I think it's going to cost us £50. I'm going to mark that up by 40%. I'm not going to apply a discount. It's calculated a selling price for me from that markup. There's no discount, so it's got the £70. It's calculated a margin. We've got a total cost there. Okay, a total value and a total profit. I can add a memo. Okay, but there's complete flexibility here. So I've got the ability to change this. So if I said, actually, I want to retain a 30% margin, it will do that for me. Okay, I could, if I want to, start to play around with the pennies. I don't want the pennies in there. So I could say, actually, then let's make that 70 pounds. So, but ultimately, I'm in control. Okay, that it's me who's controlling that. The system is guiding that. I then have the ability, if I want to add price breaks, but I could, if I wanted to, just leave it at that. Okay, there's nothing to stop me going and saving that. Okay, I'm printing that document and sending that to my customer. Okay, so again, these can have your logos on there or whatever is required. So what I can also do there, you can start to see that we've got our revision numbers coming in here. So I've got a couple of quotes there. The way that that works is if I come in and I say, actually, this is revision 1. Okay, I can then sort of move into here and I could then start to add further items onto here. Okay, or I could amend this item. Okay, so what it might be that they've come back and they said, yeah, they quite like that price, but they would like it a little bit more accurate. I can now start to come in and configure that item. It's a bit like a bill of material, really, on the fly. We're using all of the same data, so it's pretty much the same as entering a bill of material. We also have the ability to copy an existing bill of material in. Okay, we also have the ability to copy a previous works order. So it might be that you thought it was going to be a one-off job, but then they've come back and said, yes, I do want another one of those. Okay, but actually this time I want it in blue, not red. So we copy the works order back in, we make that change and requote. Okay, so I do have the opportunity to start to add items, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy in an existing bill of material. So this office desk, we're using office furniture today. Okay, and when I do that, it's pulled in the oak office desk components, oak office desk operations, documents. I haven't costed it yet, but we can cost it if we want to. But I'm going to have a look at this and I'm going to make some changes to that. So this is what's going to make it different. It's got 6 legs. Okay. I can then, if I want to save that, it's recognized that the configuration has changed, so that may affect the selling price. Okay, so it's asking me, do I want to retain the selling price? Okay, I agreed £72, on that previous quotation. I might want to retain that. Okay, or I might want it to recalculate from the selling price. So I'm going to say yes, I'm going to retain that. Okay, so we thought that it was going to cost us £50, but it's actually only going to cost us £31.40. So my markup percentage and my margin is more improved than I thought it would be. Okay, we can also start to see that the kg CO2 equivalent is coming through for our carbon footprint calculator. Okay, so I now can save that. It's recognized that I've changed the revision number, and it's saying, would I like a new revision? I'm going to say yes. So I've now retained the previous quotation, okay, which has been superseded by the /1. Okay, don't have to do that. So if I went back in and I actually maybe added a further item on there, so they also want me to quote for a standard oak desk, then what I can do is I can do that, is pulled that in. There are pricing, how how it gets prices or cost selling prices for existing items. There is a matrix, but in this instance, what it's done is it's done it exactly the same way as had it been added to a sales order in Sage. So it's pulled the selling price in from the stock record. Okay, you could get it to recalculate the price if you wanted it to. Okay, to my quotation. So what I can also do if I wanted to, I can add further items to it. Just going to say that I'm going to retain the selling price for now, but actually I've decided that I'm going to give them a bit of a discount on the 100. Okay, again, I remain in control, so you can see that you can put some price breaks on there. If I move through to service items, I can add admin charges which sit outside of the items themselves, and you can pre-configure those. We can start to see our costing. Okay, so based on the default quantities, so the quantities at the top of the screen here, okay, it will come up with a profit and loss. So we can see our costs through the materials, the labor, the service items, okay, the revenue from the products to ultimately give us a profit for this quotation, an overall profit, and all of that can be reported on. We can add attachments, so it might be that they send you an invite to tender, they might send you a drawing that can be attached to this quotation, and what that will then do is move across to the works order. So maybe I'll go into pictures and I'll just pick a file. Okay, so that's just an old logo, and what we will see is we will find that come across to the works orders at a later stage. That would actually, no, what I should have done is put that on the products. That's where it would come across. That would, the one that we've got is it would stay with the quotation itself, but we can add attachments. You'll see this one come across to the works order later. Okay. What we've also got is we've got updates. We don't claim to be a CRM solution, but what it is, this is just useful for recording sort of status updates. So maybe put on there with Oak Desk. Okay, so I can put some updates in there so that we can see what's going on with that quotation. And then we've got our analysis codes right the way through the system. We've got those custom fields. So if we save that, okay, we've now got our quotation. We can, if we want to, print that. And if I do it for with price breaks this time, we'll see that we've got our Oak Desk with our 1 and our 100 quantity with the prices, but it's got our default quantities as well. So you can have various different layouts if you needed to. You can copy a quotation. Okay, you can recost a quotation. So we come back, maybe in 3 months' time. Okay, we can recost. Okay, and recalculate the selling prices of the quotations. Okay, so we don't have to start from scratch. We can get the system to go off and recost the quotation based on the latest cost prices that we've got set up within the Cim50 solution. We can mark it as cancelled or lost. Hopefully we don't lose too many quotations, but we have provided that facility. And then what we do is we move on to the orders. So the customer has now come back to us and they've said, yes, I want to proceed. Okay, we've got the option here to create a sales order. Okay, that can be a sales order or a pro forma order. So you do have those two types of order within Sage. Okay, we've got the order date and due date. So it's picked up the due date from the quotation. I can enter a customer's order number. And then we've got the items down here. So we've got the new item desk, the new desk, the Oak Desk and the admin charge. Okay, I can play around with quantities, discounts, prices, but it's just pulled the defaults again through from the quotation. But you do have the flexibility to change this, apply any discounts. And then what we can do is we can click on create. Just asking me to confirm, and it's telling me that it's created sales order number 17. Okay. Now what it's asking me to do is it's asking, do I want to create the works orders and the purchase orders? Okay. So you do have the opportunity here, okay, to raise works orders for these items. Works orders for the sub-assemblies for these items, if there are any within there, okay, and purchase orders for any shortages for the components, okay. Or there's the opportunity to create the works orders and not create the purchase orders, let the MRP take care of that, or trial kitting within works orders take care of that. Okay, and then for certain items, there is the opportunity, certainly if they are stock items, that you run the planning module to take care of that. So you've got various different methods that you can process that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, yes, I do want to create those. Okay, I can then move across to the works order so we can see that these items have been ordered. Sales order number 17 there. So I will go and show you that in Sage in a moment. And then what it's done is it's picked up the items that need to be raised. So we've got our new item, which is going to be a one-off jobbing item. Okay. For items which are stock items, they're going to be batch items. Okay, so we've got our oak desk that's on the sales orders. We can sort these by the various different columns. And then we've got various sub-assemblies. So from this screen, we can then decide whether we raise the orders. Okay, so I'm going to say, yes, I want to raise the orders for the two top level items. From what I can see there, we should have, from experience, we should have enough of the components to fulfill those, or we may not. Okay. We can also see if there's any existing orders, which I haven't at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to create those. So that's now created those works orders. They've now dropped off the new orders list and now appear in the existing orders list. So we've got 2 works orders. Okay. And I can then move on to the purchase order. So it's had a look at the components that may need to be raised. Okay. And again, from here, what I can do, if I wanted to, I could say, actually, I want to order some studs. Okay. I can play around with the quantities if I want to, but I'm just going to create the purchase order. Okay. So that's taken care of, and that's now dropped. That will drop across into there the next time we run that. You'll see that it's now changed the status of that to 1. Okay. If we drop into Sage, so if we move across to Sage and I go to sales orders, we can see that we've got sales order number 17 with our items on there. It's pulled through the quantities, the price, okay, that admin charge, because we're going to charge them for that admin, okay, as part of this process because it's a one-off job. If I look at purchase orders, actually, I know I didn't enter a quantity on the purchase order screen, so let's just go back and didn't enter an order quantity. So I'm going to say I'm going to order 50 of those. So that's now dropped across to the existing orders. There's our order 20. And refresh that list. We now have a purchase order. Okay. So that will just act as a normal purchase order within Sage. And then finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move across to works orders, and we can see that we've got 2 works orders here. So for the oak item, okay, with the quantity, we've got the instructions there, links to the sales order. It's a firm link because it came from the quotation, so that's the advantage of processing that from the quotation. It creates a firm link, not a planning link, which could be used, allowing this works order to be used for other sales orders. All of the details have pulled across. So if I now look at this new item, so this is for a non-stock item. Okay, same sort of header information, the links there. Okay, and if I look at the components, you'll notice that there's my 6 legs, which we changed on the quotation. Okay, so these works orders will now behave as normal works orders. Okay, so if you wanted to see how to process the works orders, then please feel free to catch up with one of our other webinars, particularly for works order processing, and I'll be able to take you through that. Okay, so that concludes our webinar on the quotations module for CIM50. Please feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you're watching live. But if there is no questions, I will leave it there. And please feel free to reach out. And if you need any more information, please have a look at cim50.co.uk. Thank you.